Ah, that opening riff. Simple, acoustic, slicing right through the haze of an 80s hangover like a switchblade through spandex. Poison's Every Rose Has Its Thorn isn't just a tune. It's the kind of ballad that lingers in karaoke bars and breakup playlists, whispering sweet nothings about love's sneaky backstab. But peel back the glamour and you'll find a story soaked in cheap detergent and shattered illusions. One that starts with a frontman folding his socks while his heart gets folded in half. Stick around, because this isn't your grandma's rose garden. It's a tangle of heartbreak, hairspray, and hits that almost never happened. Let's rewind to 1987, when Poison were out grinding on the road, opening for David Lee Roth, that diamond in the rough of rock excess. Bret Michaels, the band's charismatic cowboy-hatted crooner, was living the dream, or so he thought. Picture this. The guy's in a dingy Dallas laundromat, because even glam gods have to wash their leopard prints when the tour bus smells like a locker room apocalypse. He's got quarters in one hand, a payphone in the other, dialing up his girlfriend Tracy Lewis back in LA. They've been together since '84, through the band's scrappy Mechanicsburg roots and into the big leagues. But when she picks up, there's this muffled guy's voice in the background. Boom, cheating confirmed. Bret's world crumbles faster than a bad perm in the rain. He hangs up, slumps down amid the whirring dryers, picks up his acoustic guitar, and in about 20 minutes bangs out, "Every rose has its thorn." Talk about turning suds into a symphony of sorrow. Now unpack that chorus for a second. Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. It's not some hallmark drivel. It's Bret channeling an old proverb that's been kicking around since Shakespeare's day, meaning nothing's perfect, beauty always packs a punch. But Bret flips it personal, tying it to that gut-wrenching betrayal. The rose? That's love's pretty facade, all petals and promise. The thorn? The sharp sting of infidelity, pricking you when you least expect. And that dawn bit? A sliver of hope, like even the darkest heartbreak fades with time. But oh, the irony. Bret's admitting that, yeah, relationships bloom, but they also bleed. What if he'd called 5 minutes later? Would we have Every Dryer Has Its Cycle instead? Nah, but it's funny to think this mega hit was born in a place where lost socks go to die. Fast forward to the studio for their second album, Open Up and Say, "Ah!" A title that sounds like a dentist's wet dream. But hey, it fit the era's over-the-top vibe. Poison had already tasted success with Look What the Cat Dragged In, full of party anthems like Talk Dirty to Me. But this time, they were aiming bigger, badder, and apparently more ballady. Bret brings in his Laundromat Lament, and the band, Bobby Dahl on bass, Ricky Rocket on drums, CC DeVille on guitar, they're not sold. Too country, they gripe. We're hair metal heroes, not honky-tonk heartbreakers. Producer Tom Werman, the wizard behind Motley Crue's Shouts and Twisted Sisters anthems, steps in like a referee. He hears the raw emotion, pushes them to record it, acoustic style, with just a touch of electric twang. And get this, the album cover. Originally a demonic temptress with a foot-long tongue, but retailers balked, calling it too satanic or sexy or whatever pearl-clutching excuse they had. So they censored it with a black sticker over her eyes. Talk about a thorn in the band's side. The record drops in May '88. Sells like hotcakes laced with Aquanet, going 5 times platinum. But Every Rose wasn't the lead single. That honor went to Nothing But a Good Time and Fallen Angel. 3rd time's the charm, right? Launch day for the single, October '88. Radio stations are hesitant. Poison's rep is for fist-pumping rockers, not this weepy waltz. But listeners latch on, maybe because it's relatable in a way that Unskinny Bop never could be. The video. Shot in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and an Oklahoma arena, mixing live footage with a narrative of a fangirl swooning over Bret, only to catch him cheating, mirroring the song's betrayal twist. Subtle, huh? It's got that MTV gloss. Big hair, bigger emotions, and Bret looking soulfully into the camera like he's confessing to a priest. Critics sneer, calling it sappy, but the public? They eat it up. By December 24th, 1988, Christmas Eve no less, it hits #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, staying there for 3 weeks. Poison's only chart topper ever. In the UK, it peaks at 13, but hey, not everyone's ready for American cheese with their tea. What if the band had ditched it? We'd have one less excuse for drunk uncles to air guitar at weddings. And here's a nugget. Bret's Pennsylvania upbringing snuck in country influences. Think Lynyrd Skynyrd meets Bon Jovi. He even played it for his dad first, who dug the twang. Family approval, the ultimate rock credential. As the song climbs, so does the drama. Tours turn epic with Poison headlining arenas, but backstage, tensions brew. CC DeVille's partying spirals, leading to fights. Remember that infamous 1991 MTV VMAs brawl where he played the wrong song? Not directly tied, but the thorns pricking. Every Rose becomes their signature, the slow dance staple at proms and bars, outlasting the hair metal crash. Fast forward to the 90s grunge wave, Nirvana's sneering at glam, but this ballad survives, proving even Kurt Cobain couldn't kill a good cry-along. Ripple effects? It inspires a wave of power ballads, warrants Heaven, Skid Row's I Remember You, turning tough guys into troubadours. And culturally, it seeps everywhere. Deuce Bigalow, male gigolo, uses it for a poignant pet fish funeral, absurd but poignant. Beerfest blasts it during a beer-chugging Heartbreak. Even The Simpsons parodies it with Every Plant Has Its Thorn in a Rosebush episode. Satirical swipe. In an era of excess, this song's the hangover cure, reminding us that behind the makeup and mayhem, rockers bleed too. But let's be real. If Roses had groupies, they'd probably cheat just as quick. Now the quirky aftermath, covers galore, proving the thorn's eternal. Miley Cyrus tackles it in 2010 on Can't Be Tamed, duetting with Bret himself, talk about passing the bandana. At 17, she's belting it like a pro, adding pop polish to the grit. Garth Brooks goes full country on it in '94, stripping it to steel guitar and sincerity. Julianne Howe, Diego Boneta, and crew rock it in the 2012 Rock of Ages movie amid Tom Cruise's Stacey Jack's antics. Even indie folkster Mason Jennings reimagines it acoustic in 2020, like a campfire confession. Tributes? Bret performs it solo on his tours, often dedicating it to fans' breakups. And obscure trivia. The song's metaphor pops up in psychology studies on infant fear responses to pointed shapes. Yeah, thorns trigger ancient danger vibes. What if Poison had patented the phrase? They'd own half the tattoo parlors in America. Ripple on culture. It normalizes vulnerability in macho rock, paving way for emo ballads later. But here's a zinger. Bret's type 1 diabetes diagnosis as a kid? Not directly linked, but it adds layers to his thorn resilience. The guy's survived brain hemorrhages, reality TV train wrecks like Rock of Love, and still tours. Respect. Diving deeper into lyrics, we both lie silently still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. That's the Cold War of couples, post-fight freeze-out. Bret's nailing the awkward silence, where words could have mended but didn't. Was it something I said or something I did? Did my words not come out right? Regret City, population every X ever. And the bridge. Though I tried not to hurt you, though I tried, but I guess that's why they say, leading back to the thorn. It's therapy in 3 chords, folks, cheaper than a shrink, catchier too. Obscure route. Bret drew from his blue-collar life, where love's as fleeting as factory shifts. No fabricated feuds here, just real pain turned platinum. As the 90s fade, every Rose endures, popping in ads, weddings, even political metaphors. Every campaign has its scandal, right? Bret reflects on its 30th anniversary. Therapeutic, he calls it, like journaling with 1 million listeners.
Quirky fact, the laundromat's long gone, but fans pilgrimage to Dallas spots, leaving roses.
What if Tracy had picked up alone? No song, no hit, maybe no Poison legacy. Instead, it's their crown jewel, outshining the Flash for something raw. Satire alert. In a genre of cherry pie and girls, 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 this is the veggie burger. Healthy, unexpected, but damn if it doesn't satisfy. Wrapping this up before I get too sentimental, hell, I'm not the one with the broken heart. If this tale of laundromat laments and chart-topping thorns tickled your funny bone or tugged your heartstrings, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock lore that bites back, and drop a comment. What's your thorniest breakup anthem?
Share this with your ex. They might need the reminder. Until next time, remember, every story has its twist, just like every rose. Well, you know the rest. Rock on or get pricked trying.